Hello and welcome to Law and Order SVU here on FANVERSATION. I am Yael Tygiel. That is Taylor Gates. We are discussing season 12, episode 22.
I believe so.
Bang.
Dang.
Bang. Before we get into it, if you need help, if you were assaulted, if you need someone to talk to, please reach out to RAINN. Their number is 1-800-656-4673, 1-800-656-4673. Taylor, what does 4673 spell?
It spells hope.
It does spell hope, and RAINN provides hope, so reach out to them. If this is your first time joining us, hi. Bold choice.
Pick. Yeah. Wow.
Consider this your content warning. I'm going to say so much shit. If you've never been here before, I'm not a fan of children, so this episode is going to be real fun for me. Consider this your content warning. This show talks about real serious issues, and we are a show podcast that talks about not serious issues.
Yep.
All right. Before we jump into Bang, I would like to let everybody know that we are, after this episode, taking a little break till August. So consider this your warning for that. And we'll let you know as we get closer to August what episodes we'll be doing in that month. Here's the quick app for Bang. An abandoned baby case leads SVU to a reproductive abuser, air quotes on that, who has over 20 children. I guess it's not air quotes. My quick cap had quotes, so I was air quoting. Not the point. Taylor,
yeah.
What do you think of the John Stamos episode of SVU?
I mean, it's just a classic. Like, really, it's just a classic. Like, there's just so much going on. That last scene, like, we'll get to it with the close, but it's like camp, like pure camp. And John Stamos' whole performance is pure camp. Like, wow, it's a wacky time from start to finish.
Do you know who wrote this episode?
Who?
Speedweed.
Yeah, I mean, Speedweed does all the classics. Like, that doesn't really surprise me.
I never knew this name until we were like, let's do old episodes we love. And all of them are written by fucking Speedweed.
I would love to peek inside Speedweed's mind for just 1 hour and just pick and what is going on in there. Whatever it is, I'm loving it. Never change.
This episode to me is like a nightmare. This is a nightmare. The idea that a man forces you to have children is my literal nightmare.
Yeah.
For those who've never enjoyed SVU before, I don't like children. So the concept that this guy is forcing women and then just abandoning them, but sending a check, the logistics of this, there's so many thoughts in my head about this episode.
Yeah.
Let's start with the beginning. Let's start with
Or
what's the place called?
BBT.
No, before that.
Oh, I didn't write that one down. Yeah, I didn't write that one down, but I know we were talking about the little place, daycare, or whatever.
Yeah, fuck, I forgot what it's called. I was like, I'll never forget what this is called. I don't need to write it down.
I forget it too.
It's like Wiggletown or something.
Yeah, something insane.
All the women hitting on the guy.
And I have to say, he's like, I don't play for your team. How does nobody know that? This is the gayest man I've ever seen. From the minute he came on scene, I said, that man is a homosexual. And all these women, I'm like, you need better gaydar because this is ridiculous at this point.
First of all, I would have done the same thing.
Yo, he is not playing for your team. And that's so blatantly clear.
Have I hit on a gay man who told me he was gay and said, fine, I'll peg you? Yes, I have.
I haven't. I don't play for that team, so.
I know, but I've definitely said those words.
Wow. You're gonna get canceled, but that's okay. I'm fine with that. This is not me.
He turned out to be a friend. It's fine. This was not some random person. I was not assaulting anyone. It's not harassing anyone. Let me put that on the record. I'd say who it is, but people know who he is. So. But it definitely was a friend from AfterBuzz.
Nice.
Anyway, so we find our baby left out by the dumpster. When we find out later who the neighbor dropped off the baby and his whole reasoning for why and where. Yes.
What a like he belongs in like a superhero movie. Like Wade Fisk is like so comic book to me.
I think you're thinking of what's his name? Oh my Kingpin.
Yeah. Wilson
Fisk.
Like, yes. And then yes, exactly.
He's his little brother.
Yeah. This is actually the Kingpin origin stories this episode.
Yeah, his whole reasoning of why he left, he was like, I left him there because I knew people would find him. And Stabler being like, the dumpster, like you left him at the dumpster. I think the whole argument was great. I think this was a good Stabler episode.
But like, why didn't he leave them like by a fire station or so? You know what I mean?
Right, so the place stupid. You're supposed to leave a baby. Yeah.
Yeah, at the back of a daycare center. Like, I don't know. Also, like, how do you know if anyone's gonna go back there? Like,
right. Also, I think like a hospital would have also been fun.
Something that's not just a random bougie daycare center.
I mean, also, the plan was to get the baby away from the people. Fine. But you didn't like take the baby to take care of it. You took the baby to get it away from them, but not eventually the baby would be found and returned. So how did your plan, what was your plan after that?
Yeah. Not the sharpest tool.
Especially because we've talked about, you suggested a fire station. I mentioned the hospital. For those who don't know about the safe haven laws, so a safe haven law or a safe surrender baby law is a law that does not require the names given when a baby is surrendered. So like you can drop a baby off at a hospital, fire station. There's a third place that I can't think of. But a designated safe haven location. And the baby will be put into foster care. You can, so if you look up safe haven laws or safe surrender baby, those are things you can look into if you want more info on that. Look at that. We're educational here.
Hey.
We're also going to be educational about birth control in this episode because why are none of these women on birth control?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Any type.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating.
Yeah. Also, like, he has strong sperm. Like, because you don't get pregnant every time you have unprotected sex. That's insane. 47? You have, like, strong swimmers in there.
Yeah, but he's been having sex with all these people multiple times.
I just still feel like that's a really high percentage.
True.
Just saying.
Absolutely. I would also, again, why are none of these women on birth control? I don't believe when Dee Dee was talking to Olivia about how she doesn't date and she like her high power career and whatever. To me, that's a woman who would be on one of the don't have to think about it birth controls.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Although, I mean, I don't know the answer to this, but has that become more popular in recent years? Because this is what, 13 years old now?
This is 2011.
Yeah, so 12 years. I'm sure that was a thing, but was that as popular 12 years ago? Like an IUD or something?
I mean, yeah, IUDs are...
Okay.
I'll say that. Well, so yeah. So I will say this. women who have not had babies, lots of doctors don't want to give them an IUD, which is a whole other thing we can talk about. But it is less common for women who have not had children before to get an IUD. That said, there are other, like, not have to think about birth controls. The shot is once every 3 months, and you could do that for 2 years. The implant, I don't recall the replacement cycle, but you need to replace that, but that's an option. There's the pill and the patch, which are think about ones. There's the ring, which is another think about one. Alexa in the chat says Depo, which is the shot, was available at that time. The shot, which I have used, is fucking wonderful, but is like, you're not supposed to be on it for a long period of time. You're not supposed to be on it for more than 2 years, turns out. That's a story for another time. Alexa also says, after the first broken condom, come on. Absolutely. The moment that Olivia puts it together was beautiful. Freaking beautiful. Also, if my partner, the condom breaks more than once that I am with them, they are no longer buying the condoms. I am buying the condoms.
Yeah.
Right? At this point, you're buying trash. That's what you're telling me, is that you are not keeping me safe. Also, the first time I'm like, we're going to get tested. What are you doing?
Yeah. We're getting the morning after, like, we're doing all of the things.
Right.
Like,
that's the other part. The condom broken. Nobody went for the plan B.
No.
Because I'm going to say something offensive now. The drug addict, I get not thinking about it, not being responsible. But all the other women were like high-powered professional women.
Yeah.
This feels, anyway, sorry, I'm now suspicious. Now you know it was written by a man.
Yeah.
Anyway, I believe in 4-step birth control. My birth control, a condom, plan B, and an abortion. 4-step birth control.
Yeah.
Could
I
you
agree. Sorry, I'm just sick, but
I agree. I wanted to, okay, let's talk about the baby clothing store, because the woman, the store owner who knew the baby, I'm sorry, babies all look the same.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, but okay, you're looking a little sus, actually, if you know Jasper from 3 seconds of a fucking picture. Okay.
That baby looked like any other baby. If you put that baby in a lineup, I would be like, this is the same picture. This is the same child.
I love how helpful she was, though. That was like a very different kind of customer service worker. We usually like, I don't have time. I don't know how I felt. She was like, oh, that's baby Jasper. I love his mom. She comes in here all the time.
But like, she not just knew that, she knew that she was like, oh, yeah, she's been trying for, oh, she's older.
Yeah. Like, you have a photographic memory. Like, maybe there's not that many people that shop there because no one can afford it. So maybe you do know your 6 customers really well, but
I feel like an elite or like luxury baby store seems stupid because your client base is limited.
But like, I get it, because there's always going to be, like, Beverly Hills, there's always going to be the young rich moms of Beverly Hills, and they're probably going to have more than one kid, and they're probably going to tell the, you know, when they make friends with the young, like, I feel like it makes sense.
Fine.
Listen, my favorite, like, genre of books is thrillers about, like, young rich families and their lives getting blown up. And so I feel like this is Big Little Lies, bitch. Like, you know, this makes total sense to me. This is a huge market for this. And like, San Francisco, Beverly Hills, like New York, Manhattan, like, absolutely.
But at some point the kid grows up and then you don't buy baby shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you have multiple kids,
but
and there's
then they
always
grow
going to
up.
be the young moms of whatever city it is. So they're like,
Okay,
oh, we go to there.
I'll allow it.
Yeah. Tell you.
We were talking great stuff about the store owner whose name I didn't catch. But I want to give some actor shout outs. Yes, John Stamos was Ken Turner. This is his guest starring role. He did great. He's John Stamos. Do I think this was his creepiest role? Maybe. Do I love the scene where he's got the glasses and he's poking the hole in the condom? It's such a quick little moment of him with the glasses. And I was like, it shows that he's been doing this for so long. He's old. It's so funny. Anyway.
Yes, and like I'm saying, like it's pure camp. Like he committed, and I have to respect that. Like you can tell when some celebrities like not, they think it's silly. No, John Stamos said, "I am going to be this man, and I'm going to be convincing." And like, thank you. Please don't half-ass it when you come on SVU. Like, be the delicious mustache twirling villain that we want and deserve.
Also in this episode, for those who didn't recognize Lori Singer as Dee Dee, Lori Singer is the girl from Footloose.
Okay, but can I give
Classic.
another actor shout out?
Sure.
We have Alyssa Sutherland in this as like just one of the random women. She's like huge now. She's in Evil Dead Rise, I think it was the name of the movie, which I haven't seen because I like horror, but I don't know about that one. But she's like huge now, and she was in such a like. Yes, there's a lot of people who like are on SVU earlier in their careers. She had like maybe 4 lines. I love it when it's such a small part like this. I was like, wait, I know her. That's wild.
But not only that, she's a repeat offender. She comes back in season 20 in the episode Plastic. If I remember correctly, she is the adult version of the girl who was kidnapped and now has a bunch of plastic surgeon in the Mark Firestein episode.
Yes.
Also, Noelle Beck, who plays Dr. Audrey Shelton. Noelle Beck, also repeat offender, in fact, was in season 1, episode 15, entitled. Came back from season 1 to season 12. Honestly, wish she'd come back in a future episode.
Yes.
Yeah, so those are the big. I guess let's give Imelda was played by Marta Milans, and Wade Fisk was played by Jordan Dean. For some reason, this episode literally just had Stabler, Benson, and Tutuola.
Yeah.
Munch, Dr. Wong, Warner, and Cragen are not in this episode.
Nope.
Honestly, surprising that Cragen wasn't there.
Yeah, he could have been fun.
Yeah. I have this note. It's so gross. When they're talking to Imelda and Stabler finds the condom in the trash can, and he's like, "It looks kind of fresh." First of all, no, it doesn't, and second of all, it doesn't even look used. Not that they were gonna make it look used, but it looks like somebody opened a condom and just unrolled it into a trash can.
Well, I do think the prop department should have done a better job then.
That's what I'm saying. It sounds like the prop department was like, we're not making this gross.
Come on, guys. No, I know what happened. If they were spending all their time on John Stamos's blown up chest, that they didn't have time to do the condom.
I'll allow it.
That was gnarly.
Let's talk about the wasp injection.
I love it. Like, this is literally, when I think of just like random small weird details of SVU, like this is one of my favorites. I'm like, that's wild. I love it. Now I always know what it is from this episode.
Did I Google video of this knife in use while watching today? Yes, I did.
They show you with the fish on the screen.
I know, but I wanted to see other things.
I feel like this could be like honestly a TikTok sensation. Like I don't know how much time you spend on TikTok, but my sister and I love the videos of people putting the cups down the stairs or the glasses and seeing if they break on the stairs. Like I feel like this wasp knife, like blowing stuff up with it, could just be such like a brand of TikToks that people like.
100%. I watched a couple. There was one that was a watermelon. I was like, fuck yes. The watermelon did not explode, but it did slice a big chunk of the back.
That's
I was
like disappointing it didn't explode.
So disappointing. I was expecting it to like John Stamos' body.
Yeah, I want to see shit get blown up.
Yeah. There's the moment where Stabler figures out the murder weapon is a really nice parallel to the moment where Olivia realizes what is happening.
Yeah.
Especially later when Audrey says, "You're good detectives." And I was like,
Well, this episode, yes.
This time.
Yes.
Yeah. This episode's so gross.
The title is phenomenal, though, if you think about the layers that bang has.
Go on.
So, I mean, you bang someone, you know what that is. And he literally goes, bang. Like, that's amazing. That's such a good double meaning.
It's back when the show did really clever titling. Before things like Send in the Clowns and Something Happened.
Well, here's the thing. I know exactly how it happened. It's because it used to be one-word titles. And then I think when Warren Light took over, it was the amount of letters in what season we were in. So in season 13, there's 13 letters. Well, when you get to season 21, it's a lot of letters. And now we don't really have any fun naming conventions. But I did like it when we had fun naming conventions. But I would go like a 2-word now or something. Like the letter thing just gets a little bit complex when you get to this many.
I totally agree with you. I also really think that the 1-word titles or 2-word titles, when they were clever and like had the double meaning and gave the layers, it made a difference.
It was so fun.
It was very fun, especially when you like you caught one of the meanings, and then upon like rewatch, you'd be like, oh,
yeah, so good.
Yeah. Alexis says, saw this a couple times and still the Audrey twist got me.
Yeah, because let's be so real, it doesn't make that much sense. But like,
okay, so she essentially is a vigilante, is what we're getting at. Which, if the buffalo thing had been mentioned earlier,
exactly, you couldn't just throw that in.
But also, like, if the buffalo thing had been mentioned early, or the like thing about her sister had also been like, they would have been like, well, what happened to him? And she'd be like, you know, he was with bad people and ended up dead. Like, at least give us like, oh, she's a vigilante. When she can't do it legally, she does whatever she wants.
And we didn't get that, and so it's just like so much rushed exposition, which like not complaining. It's one of my like I love this ending. But it also, like, is low-key stupid because we don't get anything before that, like, foreshadowing it.
So I remember every time the first, like, 5 times I saw this episode, I forgot which woman it was.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, it was the doctor. And I was like, oh, right, because of her sister. No, he didn't impregnate her sister.
No.
He just tried to hit on her, and she was like, fuck this, he's not going to stop.
Yeah. It's just so dumb, but like whatever, I'm here for it. But like it is stupid. Like it doesn't really make that much sense.
What's also funny is when he goes up to the woman's mom and is like, I didn't sleep with you, right? First of all, sir, you enjoy impregnating women. Do you not know how biology works? Like even Dee Dee felt a little on the later end of being able to carry your child healthy. Yeah. If anything, all these women should, every time he impregnates them, they should be within like a window in their 20s. Mm-hmm. And it also makes me wonder, just the logistics of this, right? Because some of the kids were like, I don't know, 7, 8, 10. I don't know how old kids are. Old enough to be in school. So how long has he been doing this? Does he actually send a check to 47 kids every month? And why, like, does he, how, that feels like something you'd forget. Do you have an auto set? I just have questions about the logistics.
Yeah.
And like, he's like, we talk all the time. And I'm like, when do you have time to talk to these women and their children?
I mean, he clearly doesn't. He didn't know one of the kids' names. So like,
let's talk about the conversation between Stabler and him and fatherhood. Just because I want on the record, I want us to talk a little bit about being a father is about support, not sperm. And I think that that's very important. A parent's biological tie is irrelevant to parenthood.
yes.
And I think that that's an important distinction.
Yes.
I also like when he points out to Stabler, like, you have 5 fucking kids.
Me too. It's funny. But like, oh my God. I just feel like we have had this conversation 8 trillion times. Like in different fonts. Between Stabler and some like perp. See, I'm a father, blah, blah. We know. We fucking know. We've heard it. We get it. But he also said, we know you want to bang your partner. And I said, well, who doesn't? Yeah.
He not just said you want to bang her, but you want to see her grow.
Yeah, that part I didn't like as much. So I didn't write that one down. But I was like, ew. And I don't have that kind of kink.
Alexa in the chat.
Shaming.
The look on Stabler's face, he thought about it for a sec. Alexa.
Of course he did. He's thought about it more than for a sec. But yeah, he does have 5. Like, you're getting up there, champ.
I mean, biologically, a man can continue impregnating forever, which is gross.
Yep.
I mean, anyway. Okay, let's move on to quotes. That's all I have left is quotes. Yeah. So many this episode.
So many.
Okay, we're gonna start at the beginning. When Imelda is praying, and Finn asks her, "Why did you call for help?" And she says, "What do you think I'm doing? I'm praying someone will find Jasper." And then he says, "Your prayers have been answered."
It's good.
As much as I don't like children, I also am not a fan of religion. Hilarious. Hilarious. She didn't fucking call for help. Okay.
Yeah.
When Ken says to Stabler, "Why do you have a hard-on for me?" Because you can't keep yours out of unsuspecting women.
So good.
He says, "I'm making their lives richer with my progeny and my money." Wow. Gross. Oh, Stabler says, "How much time do you spend with your kids? Because it seems to me you spend all of it trying to make more." "I'm a great father who sends a check every month."
Yeah, I had that one too.
"She had no right to kill my son." That line is so fucked up.
Yeah.
And 20, not even close. You only checked to New York. You'll find I have 47 children.
And I love each and every one of them. Okay.
Being a world-class creep Get you dead as a doornail.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna let you have the last one.
Thank you, because you know it's my favorite.
But first, I just meant to cut off his penis.
Boom, Ken bursts open. It's the end to that one because I had that.
Okay. What you got otherwise?
The way that Finn pronounces bibliothèque is my favorite. That comes from a store called Bibliothèque. The way he says it cracks me up.
Okay.
I heard yells coming from her place. I thought it was, sex. Rough sex? No. Maybe a little enthusiastic, but that's not really a crime now, is it, detective? On the virgin, I swear I didn't do it. Like, what a choice of words. Also, just the way that I forget her name, the rich blonde woman, Dee Dee delivers, "You're a slut," in the precinct. I thought was great. I know it's wrong, but she's young and exotic. What am I, your grandmother? Our condoms break because we have so much fun in bed. Tell her. Shut up. Just the repetition. I told you I love kids. Okay.
Yes.
How much you want to bet he's not buying roses for his sick granny? No, I'm Montezuma, man. What kind of quote is that? How's little Mark? Then he was Max, and he's dead, just like his mother. It's like, okay. And finally, I need a prop for this ending. Please, Olivia, just a few more sips. They don't serve wine where I'm going.
Nicely done.
Like, it's so good because it's so dumb in the most fun way, and that's when SVU peaks for me.
I, again, would have loved a scene where they're talking over wine. Like, something. Their relationship, I was like, are they friends? Have we met her before? No.
It's so good. That actress is just having the time of her life too. You can just tell by the way she delivers that. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Chew the scenery. Eat it up.
I would love if Noelle Beck returns as Audrey Shelton, no longer a doctor because she's been in prison. Would have been amazing. Would be amazing to see her back.
So good.
She needs help or they need help and she helps them, but whatever. Would be great. Those are the best lines. I want to also talk about the fact that the case that we have here, they can't charge him. That reproductive abuse is not a crime, or at least it wasn't. I'm pretty sure it still isn't. There's a line that putting semen inside of a woman without her consent should be illegal. And I think that is so fucking true.
Yeah.
I think putting anything inside of a person without their consent, however you choose to put that in them, should be a thing.
Yeah, agreed. That's wild.
The idea that somebody, first of all, the idea that somebody pokes holes in a condom is fucking awful. But the fact that he also does it one at a time, day of, seems really stupid. Sir, buy a pack. Do them all. Why? What is this? You waited till a moment of?
Yeah.
Alexa in the chat has a few lines for us. Please, Olivia, just a few more sips. And being a creep is not illegal. That's true. Maybe it should be, but
yeah.
Before we do shower thoughts, I would like to remind everybody that you can give us ratings and reviews on iTunes. If you like us, you can give us 5 stars. If you don't like us, you can give us 4 stars. The other stars are broken. There have been no new reviews since January of this year, and that makes me sad. So if you are listening to us on iTunes, please leave us a rating and review. If you're watching us on YouTube and commenting, we love that. I do read all of those comments, and they're wonderful. Thank you for those. But we love hearing from you, so let us know, especially because we're planning to have some interviews coming up, at least one, from our last episode. Check that out. before we do shower thoughts, news. For those who are unaware, not only are the writers on strike, but the actors have joined them. We support SAG and WGA, so while there are no new episodes, we'll continue to do older episodes, and we understand that it'll be a while before there are any new episodes. Yep. So we will continue and move forward supporting them because writers and actors should be paid for their work. Anyone who works on shows that we talk about should be paid for their work.
Yes.
But now, some shower thoughts. It looks like you want me to do it.
Yeah.
Some shower thoughts. For our friends who are listening in the shower, I hope that you've enjoyed our really fun blast from the past, going through wet and then fat and now bang. I'll tell you guys something funny. My roommate, whom I love, was like, "What episode are you guys doing?" And he went, wait, it was wet, fat, whores?
Sorry, I love you for that.
And I died. There's no episode called whores.
But maybe there should be.
But it's fucking hilarious that because wet, fat, whores.
Wet, fat, horse. It's honestly, we love
right? That. So I hope if you're in the shower, I hope this made you laugh. You know, sometimes, sometimes our shower thoughts are advice. Sometimes they're suggestions. Sometimes they're suggestive. Today, I hope I made you laugh.
Yeah, I love that.
All right, that's been shower thoughts. I love our shower thoughts segment.
It's great.
It's so stupid. But since people are listening in the shower, why not?
And it's like, you're not going to get that anywhere else, really.
Definitely not. All right. Before we wrap things up, again, a reminder, we will be off until August. We will let you know what's happening. Oh, I skipped something, didn't I?
You think I didn't learn anything? Thanks.
Friends, I'm so sorry. Wow, I just wanted to let everyone know that we're off.
Look I've ever given you.
Take it away.
Well, I learned so many things, okay? I did learn that poking holes in condoms is not illegal, which is nuts. The first time I watched it, I learned what a wasp knife was, and I will always remember that because that's, like, wild. And I learned that the people at Wiggle whatever the name of the place was have horrible gaydar. That man is gay. How do you not know that? So, yeah, I learned a lot.
I have something that I actually knew, but I feel like is something that should be brought up in this because it's relevant. So I don't know, and I'll look, if you could look this up while I'm talking, if poking a hole in the condom is still illegal or is still not against the law. Because removing a condom during sex without consent is classified as rape. It is called stealthing. So if removing a condom during sex is constituted as assault, is poking a hole also?
I'm learning that it is in Germany, but I don't know about the US.
Oh, interesting. Sorry. Stealthing, it seems, might be only in the UK that it's considered rape. Interesting. All right. Well, the US fucking sucks.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. In the United States, outside of California, laws do not specifically cover stealthing. So California, as of 2021, stealthing is considered sexual battery. But that's not poking holes.
I don't know that we're going to find like a solid answer to that.
I guess poking holes also is being put under stealthing. Anyway, well, times are changing. Hopefully they actually change. Because as I said, I think putting something in someone's body without consent should be illegal regardless of what it is.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. As I was saying before we got into what we learned, we're off till August. But until then, Taylor, where are you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter still at F_Ann. You can also
Why?
find me because that's where I was born and raised. And you can find me on Twitter at
Instagram.
Taylor_Gates_. Yeah, sorry. I took a lot of Dayquil in the past couple of days. Twitter, Alpha_Ann. Instagram, Taylor_Gates_.
Perfect. I am Yael Tygiel. I'm everywhere at Yael Tygiel. That is YAELTYGIEL. You can find me on the Electric Now app for Almost Paradise Season 2, which is premiering next week.
Almost Paradise.
Yes. You can check out the official Almost Paradise After Show, Paradise Found, on Electric Now. Also, this weekend, FANVERSATION will be blowing up with San Diego Comic-Con coverage from me, Taylor, from Katie and Carrie, who host Nighttime at the Nerd Bar here on FANVERSATION's YouTube. Be sure to subscribe if you want that stuff. And check us out on Instagram is probably where we'll be tracking all of the excitement that we're doing. And then we'll be back in August to do more old episodes. And we will continue to do more old episodes until new episodes return, whenever that may be. Support SAG-AFTRA, support the Writers Guilds. We do. Thank you for joining us. Bye, everybody.